Hi, everyone, and welcome to this latest edition of the Michigan State Spartans Insider Podcast. I'm your beat reporter for Michigan State Spartans on SI, Aiden Champion. Some big news came out of Michigan State this morning. President Kevin Guskowitz announced that Alan Haller is leaving. This will end a 3+ year tenure at the helm for Haller. Haller, obviously a Spartan alum, played football at Michigan State, also participated in track and field for the Spartans. While Guskowitz had said that Haller's leaving, based on reports, this was Michigan State's decision. 247 Sports' Justin Thine had reported, quote, I'm told that fundraising abilities will be a key requirement for new candidates as a national search will begin immediately, unquote. It seems that the focus, of this decision was NIL, obviously fundraising, something that, hadn't seemed to be too prominent for Michigan State athletics lately. We don't seem to know the details of what goes on behind the scenes, but um, as far as football, particularly, um, and I get you could say basketball as well, but recruiting, transfer portal, definitely they are behind compared to a lot of other Big Ten schools. Um, and this, when you look at it from that angle, I think this is a positive direction that Michigan State wants to take. By no means do I think Haller was a bad athletic director. I really don't. I know certain people have their opinions, but um, I mean, he served his role well when you look at what was accomplished under him. Um, you look at that 2023-24 athletic year in particular, six Big Ten titles, including both regular season and tournament championship, uh, hockey, women's soccer, women's cross country, and women's gymnastics. Hockey, of course, had also won the Big Ten tournament title, and then this past season did it again, also won the regular season conference title again. And I think the hockey program is, a big testament to what Haller accomplished during his reign. Um, the hiring of Adam Nightingale proved to be, you know, a huge move. Nightingale has completely turned that program around, has brought back Michigan State hockey. Um, and it remains to be seen, but the Jonathan Smith hire at the time seemed like, um, a pretty solid hire. That, like I said, remains to be seen how his regime pans out. Um, but all in all, you look at that season, you look at academics. Uh, last semester, Michigan State athletics was very successful in the classroom, had broken multiple school records, um, cumulative GPA. It was its highest ever, 3.4323, highest semester GPA ever, 3.4616. Most ever student athletes with a 3.0 or higher with 555. And then it was the first time ever in school history that every team had over 3.0 semester and cumulative GPA. That's not something that can be overlooked because, of course, these are student athletes, and it goes beyond the athletic department, beyond sports. For that to have happened with him at the helm, it speaks a lot to Haller's tenure. As far as loyalty and commitment to the school goes, I don't think you can get a whole lot better than Haller. Of course, like I said, was a Spartan himself, and he loves this place. And from what it seemed, the coaches loved him, and I think he did mean a lot to the department, to the university. So, I don't think that his tenure should be looked upon with bitterness, because there was a lot of good that did happen under him. In the meantime, Tom Izzo and Michigan State co-athletic director Jennifer Smith will serve as Michigan State Athletics interim co-athletic directors. Um, I know fans might see the name Tom Izzo and might immediately jump at the possibility that maybe somewhere down the line Izzo could be the permanent athletic director someday. I don't see that happening, for a guy who has, expressed his concerns with the NCAA and how he feels his voice hasn't necessarily meant much while being on committees. I don't think this is something that it's a job that Tom Izzo would want permanently in the future. Um, as much as he loves this university, as much as he has expressed that, and all that, I don't think that it's what he sees for his future. I think when Tom Izzo calls it, I think that's going to be done. I'm sure he'll still be all around the university. Um, but I don't think that's a role he would be interested in. I think this temporary move is just him helping, wanting to help out the university, is my guess, and wanting to be there during a time where um, they really need it as they actively search for a new replacement. So, uh, like I said, new era for Michigan State athletics, and new eras are always exciting. I I think it's great that the university wants to find someone who um, can kind of revolutionize the fundraising aspect of the athletic department, and um, perhaps elevate the NIL production, because like I said, it's definitely lacked, and I think it's held programs back. So, with all that said, thank you everyone for tuning in, and I hope you have a great rest of your week. Thanks.